Hi, guys. Whew. We are here with the Mike C-Roc, which, I mean, we've had you on one of the episodes, I think a remote one.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
knows who you are. You've done thousands of episodes. But for those that don't know you, which I doubt there's anybody, but do you mind giving them a little bio, a little who you are, what you do?
Well, first of all, I pretend every day when I wake up that nobody's ever heard of me. So I don't know what I don't know where
Okay,
you're
that's
coming from with
impossible.
that, but no, I do. I just
He's so
I
down to
want to meet
earth.
as many people as possible and impact people's lives. So, but yeah, no, I'm a guy that an entrepreneur, father,
Okay.
husband. Probably those should have been said first.
Aw.
But no, I just run businesses in the exposure space and the networking space. I get people booked on top podcasts with my team, and we have a network called That One Network where we have
Yeah.
650 members, and we just provide experiences for them and a container for them to be able to connect and catalyze relationships.
Okay. What about we're talking the quantum expansion that you do. You had one in New York and Miami and other cities, Vegas?
Yeah,
one?
so we throw get-togethers 4 times a year to bring our network together and allow them to meet each other where they wouldn't normally have had a chance or the proximity or access to each other.
Okay.
I just saw an opportunity because I run this agency and I'm around so many amazing people. And when we're around these amazing people, they know me and I know them, but they don't know each other in a lot of cases. And I just thought that was unacceptable. So I put this group together first, That One Network.
Mm-hmm.
Once we had that going, there was 500 some members. Some people were saying, hey, we should do meetups and get-togethers. And I'm like, oh, okay, let me see what I can do. And they said, we'll invest in it. So I created this thing called Quantum Expansion. That's how it was born. And we started in Beverly Hills, and then we went to Miami, and then now we're in Vegas.
Okay.
So this is our 3rd event. And it's just a good, intimate setting where we spend the weekend together doing some activities, but also doing workshops and masterminding. So,
Well, what is the vision for where it goes? Like, what's the ultimate goal here?
well, at the end of the day, when I started, this idea was just to be a catalyst for connection, right? So I don't know how this is all going to play out, but at the end of the day, I'd like it to be, a situation where we have hundreds of members and we continue to have events 4 times a year, meet at other people's events, so that no matter what event you go to, whether it's in entrepreneurship, health and wellness, biohacking, longevity, you always know somebody where you're going because they're part of That One Network. And that would be cool.
And That One Network, I know it's pretty exclusive. What were the qualifications to
Well,
join?
I have these things called 15 minis that I do with people. I do 5 to 8 a day with perfect strangers that I meet through the network from friends, mutual friends, or reach out. If I see somebody doing cool things on Instagram, I'll reach out to them, shoot them a DM. And you have to have had a 15-minute call with me or done a podcast with me or met me in person, hung out at an event. So all the 650 plus members have gone through me to get in there. So
Wow.
And then I look for servant-hearted people that I don't care necessarily just that they've accomplished something. I want them to be good quality people. And we have a really short leash, so to speak, with that, because if I see somebody that's just not a fit or misaligned, I just push the eject button.
Rightfully so. You want to keep that very high quality. With 2.2 million followers and a growing agency, what's the chapter you haven't written yet?
Yeah, I'm just here to really honor the mission that God's given me, and I just wait for Him to share with me where He wants me to go to next. And sometimes I get impatient and I'm not in a surrender mode, and I want something to come now. I want the idea to come now. But the more I surrender and just go with the flow and trust, things just pop up. So I really don't know the next chapter. I'm just along for the ride, really. So.
Wow, amazing. You don't have like how everybody says, oh, you got to manifest and all these things.
Yeah, well, so I have a prayer I say every day is just, Lord, give me the thoughts to have, the words to speak, the actions to take, and the people to surround myself with to serve the mission He has for me and to glorify Him. And so the mission He has for me has to come through Him. And I don't know all the time what it is going to be. I tried the control thing back in my day, real clear on what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. And it just doesn't work out. It's not fulfilling. I've made millions in my life and business, and it's just never was really fulfilling just doing that. But when you have a purpose that is God-given and it's very clear to you and it becomes apparent that you're supposed to follow that mission and the money follows that, then it's fulfilling. And so that's the route I'm taking.
That's amazing. That is amazing. What's the biggest lie you've been told about success? You're so successful.
That it's just all about money and revenue. I've been there before, and I come home miserable. And I why am I miserable? I think I'm doing everything I thought I was supposed to be doing, having a successful business. And when you're just living in a chase mode, I would call it, right? Just chasing revenue, chasing the next milestone, it never ends. It's never good enough. And there's always somebody, if you're trying to compete with other people and you're trying to put yourself out there to match someone else, it never ends. There's always somebody doing more than you and better than you. And this and
True.
that. And I'm not into that anymore. So I'm focused on paying attention to my business, minding my business, and doing the best I can with what I've been given. And, but the biggest lie, yeah, it's all about money. It's not.
It's not. And what's a belief you have about life that most people would disagree with?
Probably, I think that the one that I would say is that when you get this vision for your mission in life, that you need to know the how before you move. I think most people stop going after something because they don't, and committing to a mission because they don't know how they're going to do it. And you might have a big vision that pops in your head like, man, wouldn't it be cool if I did this? And you don't know how to do that. You couldn't even wrap your head around the how or the process. And you just quit, right? I believe that you commit to something, you get a vision, you commit to it, all in, and then the how starts to appear as you commit. The people start popping into your life. And so I would say that would be it.
Very
Yeah.
interesting. And since you've been on thousands of podcasts, is there anything that you haven't shared? Is there something that people don't know about you that you have not yet shared in other podcasts?
I think there's a word admiration that I realized. I don't think I've talked about this before, but admiration, you have to be able to receive admiration from people. And people will say to me sometimes, man, you're killing it. You're doing this, you're doing that. And I used to be like, oh, nah. And like I already did it earlier today. I was like, no, I try to pretend like nobody ever's heard of me. Nobody ever heard of me.
I know you're borderline humble.
Yeah, but
There's
there's something where
one
you
thing
need to be able
between
to, you need to be able to say like, oh, thank you, and receive admiration and give admiration. Because I think when you give admiration, it really creates an attractive quality. Like people like think that, when you admire them and they want to be around you. So I'm all about seeing how I can create an attraction model in all aspects. And that word admiration has been sticking out to me a lot lately.
Interesting. But I think being humble, it's a beautiful quality, especially for someone that's so influential and successful.
Thank you. Thank you. See, I'm
Yes.
receiving it.
I was testing you. I was trying to see what you're doing. But yes, the fact that you still manage to keep yourself, how can you, what is the key to sustaining, being down to earth when success is, when everything is like, ooh, a lot of people lose their heads and they're like,
Well, when you realize you're not God, right? Like I'm a vessel and I'm a tool to be used for a mission. And so it's not me accomplishing things. I give all glory to God. So I don't think that you can really put yourself on a high horse or pedestal when you're not the one actually doing it. You're just a vessel. So for me, and when you do that, by the way, when you start putting yourself up on, high and mighty, you set yourself up for a fall. Like it happens all over and over and over again. You see it everywhere. And I've been through it myself. So I don't like falling. So I don't want to put myself up there. But at the end of the day, I just want to be the best husband and father I can be, the best friend that I can be, the best leader of a community and business that I can be, so that I can be a living demonstration for my kids and my wife. And I feel like they look up to me in a way, and just want to make sure that I provide that great example.
Amazing, Mike. And what do you want to leave my followers with?
I could leave them with a lot of things, but I think get really clear on the idea of what you're put here for. So many people are drifting through life, and when you drift through life, you can get bored, and then that's when chaos enters into your life, and then that's when you get unhappy. At the end of the day, we have the ability to cause and create the life that we want to live. And so many people are just drifting through their career, thinking they have to stay at the same job. And I remember when I decided to get out of the mortgage business after being in it for 20 years, people thought I was crazy. And then my friends around me thought I was crazy because they were stuck in that idea and I wasn't. And so I started thinking to myself, how can I be around my kids more often, work from home, make my own schedule, and even make more money than I was already making? That's got to be possible. And if I did that, what would that look like? And I just started asking these questions. So just know that we all have the power to cause and create the life that we want to live. And no reason that you have to be at work and not be able to go to your kids' games or, be there for your spouse or whatever. So
that's amazing. Mike, I really appreciate your patience today. And next time,
my
I'm going to make
pleasure.
it up
Thank you.
to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
It's good.